Welcome to the Real CP Show. I am your host, CP. Today is June the 26th, 2026. And today's topic discussion, this violent Anglo male to this situation murders his Anglo wife in a unfathomable way. White on white criminality. White on white criminality. Shh. But. You know, the people who like doing that within certain sections of the Paname's culture want to do it, and some other people who want to be like certain ones within the Paname's culture, etc. Black folks are the criminals, right? You know, when they try to deflect, get the Hades out of here. Right? This is the game they like playing of deflecting when it's white on white criminality. See, for so long within Americanism, that is, you got to try to focus on seeing what black folks are doing. Even though the majority of black folks do not commit criminality whatsoever. Well, murder. 9,000% of black folks ain't committing a murder. You see where I'm coming from. But they'll blur that out. But they make sure not to talk about the gigantic amount of criminality that numbers of person will do on an everyday basis. The ones this applies to. Oh, they don't talk about that. You understand? They have to keep this they have to keep this type of mythologicalness without being mythologicalness, lie, right? Half white lie to keep it going. As if there's no extremely epidemic of white on white criminality, right? But you got to focus on a black. That's how it goes, right? So this very vile Anglo male takes the life of his Anglo wife at their residence in such an unfathomable way. What kind of? Because for the people who are that naive, it's hard for them to fathom that there are certain numbers of personnel within the Paname's culture who are capable of these atrocity, very violent outcomes to one another. Right? Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, make sure you can see this. Okay, let me get this off the screen here. On that real short show. Okay. Dale Warner sentenced after unaliving his wife and leaving her in a cold steel tomb. I'm gonna play a little bit of this video, just a little bit. It's only a few minutes of this. I'm gonna close it out with another video. Adrian, Michigan, a Anglo male, very violent one, convicted of murdering his Anglo wife and welding her body in a tank or fertilizer tank on the property, was sentenced to spend up to 70 years in prison. Dale Warner, 58, was found guilty of second-degree murder and tamper with evidence in the unaliving of his wife, Dee Warner, 52, whose body was found buried on the couple's property. Dee Warner disappeared on April 25th, 2021, after she was last seen at her home. It took 3 years for investigators to find her remains. It took 3 years for investigators to find her remains. which were inside a sealed tank, a fertilizer tank that had previously been used to hold whatever this is, anhydrous, something ammonia on the property. There was no ammonia in the tank, which had been sealed on both ends, which she was found. At trial, prosecutors introduced evidence showing that the victim was beaten, strangled, and her mouth and nose duct and her mouth and nose duct tape before her body was put in the tank. White on white criminality. But they keep trying to get numbers of black folks to show more internal self-hatred. Do you understand? That is brilliancy. Why white on white crime is epidemic. Oh, don't get it confused. I've done many topics on brown on brown criminality, yellow on yellow criminality, red and red criminality. Don't get it confused on my The Real CP Show podcast. Don't get it confused. White on white criminality is an epidemicness, but they don't want to talk about that. You understand? So again, I'm playing this as a timepiece purpose and on the fair usage doctrine.
Also look at the public and private resources that were required to uncover the crime as a result of the tampering that occurred. Again, the body was concealed for more than 3 years. During that time, tremendous amount of public and private resources were deployed in an effort to find him. Seemingly an endless amount of searching on various properties in different locations, all of which didn't need to happen but for tampering charge. And so in considering those factors, I think it's very appropriate that a consecutive sentence be imposed rather than a concurrent sentence. If there weren't a consecutive sentence imposed under these circumstances, I don't know when it would ever be appropriate. And so for those reasons, I do believe that the sentence at the top of the guidelines is appropriate, and that the tampering charge be served consecutively to the tampering charge. Therefore, it will be the sentence of the court that Mr. Warner, you serve 375 months, 31.25 years to 60 years with the Department of Corrections. You got credit for 898 days served. With respect to the murder charge, you must pay a $130 crime victims assessment, a $60 DNA fee, and a $136 state cost. With respect to the tampering charge, it is the sentence of the court that you serve a period of 17 months to 10 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections. There's no credit for time served on that in that.
But at the same time, right? Black on black crime. We got to focus on that first. Right? You see how that goes, right? We got to focus on black crime. We must focus on that first, right? But when you say, no, look in the mirror first, right?
Nothing. I know nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Say what?
I know nothing.
Why not?
I know nothing.
You see how that goes, right? Last thing I want to show is this other quick clip on this part. Hold on. Right here. Just the jury basically relaying over basically the guiltiness as well, or the outcome of this part.
Madam Clerk, would you please read the verdict?
Members of the jury, listen to your verdict as recorded. You do say upon your oath that you find the defendant, Dale Warner, as to count 1, guilty of second-degree murder. As to count 2, guilty of tampering with evidence. So say you, Mr. Foreperson.
I do.
So say you, members of the jury.
Yes. Would either the people or the defense wish to have the jury?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Madam Clerk, would you please poll the jurors?
I will call you by seat number as you are seated in the jury box. If you agree with the verdict, you will say yes. If you disagree with the verdict, you will say no. Seat number 1.
Yes.
Seat number 3.
Yes.
Seat number 4.
Yes.
Seat number 6.
Yes.
Seat number 7.
Yes.
Seat number 8.
Yes.
Seat number 9.
Yes.
Seat number 10.
Yes.
Seat number 12.
Yes.
Seat number 13.
Yes.
Seat number 15.
Yes.
Seat number 16.
Yes.
Thank you.
But again, right?
Nothing. Nothing. I know nothing. Nothing.
I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP show.